Hi guys, Paul McCabe here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to do a video about something that I've had on my mind for a little while, just something I wanted to put out there on YouTube. It's just a thought that keeps pondering in my mind, so I thought while I'm driving, I'll do a quick video and see what your thoughts are on it, really. Are you born an entrepreneur, or do you become an entrepreneur? This is the question that I've been pondering over. If you was to ask me that question, if somebody asked me that question, I'd say I was born an entrepreneur. But really, when you think about it, you can't really be born an entrepreneur. I mean, you didn't come out your mum's womb going, right, let's make some money. You know, so I don't really know the answer to that question. So I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on it, and I want you to comment, let me know what you think on this, because I think it's quite an interesting question. You know, do you become that entrepreneur over time? Are you taught to become an entrepreneur, or is it just something inside you? Whereas really, you could say you were born with it. That's kind of more what I think. That's what I think it is. I think that it's something that is in your core. Because, you know, when you talk to people that are not entrepreneurs, they really haven't got a clue what you're talking about, and they're not on your wavelength, you know. They're not on your frequency, are they? They just, you know, they don't agree with anything you say. They don't think anything you say is the right way of doing it. Or is it just because they've been brainwashed? Is it just because they've been brainwashed? You know, I don't know. Because it all starts at school, really, doesn't it? And I remember when I was at school and the brainwashing didn't work. You know, you get labelled as a troublemaker, or somebody that, you know, rebels at school. You get labelled as a rebel. But when I was at school, I couldn't really concentrate. I was always thinking of things. You know, when I was in class, I was always thinking of stuff, because the stuff they were teaching me, it didn't really do anything for me. You know, once I learned the basics, math and English, and a few basic things I was interested in. You know, I quite like biology because that interested me. I started doing weights when I was 15, started bodybuilding when I was 15. So it interested me, so I wanted to know how the human body worked. So I had a passion for something then. So that passion then obviously transpired into education. And when you've got a passion about something, you should educate yourself. So I was always interested in biology, but I wasn't interested in things like geography. You know, I knew where I lived. I knew where everything in the world was. I didn't really see the importance of it. You know, I always had this idea I wanted to do stuff to make money. I don't know where it came from, really. You know, my father, he was a businessman. He still is a businessman. He always had his own business. You know, I grew up a good living. I didn't want for nothing. I didn't need for anything. You know, so, and my mum was a housewife. Most of her life she looked after me. You know, she was there for me when I needed her. So I always had a good upbringing, and I always had this something in my mind. I knew something wasn't right with things, not with my family life, but, you know, with school and with jobs, and I didn't like authority either. I seemed to have this problem being told what to do. I didn't like control. When they tried to tell me what to do, I felt like they were trying to take my control away. They were trying to take my freedom away from me. And it was always kind of pummeled into you, you know, go to school, get a good job, get good grades, get a good job when you get older. That was what they were just trying to constantly brainwash you with all the time. And it just didn't work for me. You know, I was labelled as an interruption in the classes because I couldn't concentrate. You know, and I don't know. You know, they say, I've heard somebody say before that entrepreneurs tend to have ADHD. Whether that's just something made up, I don't really know if I believe in that, really, ADHD. But do you find yourself doing that? If you're, say you're watching a YouTube video, say you're listening to a YouTube video or an audiobook, and you're listening to something by Robert Kiyosaki or Dan Lok, or, you know, you're trying to educate yourself, and you're listening to all these audiobooks, you know, you'll be listening away, and they'll tell you a real good nugget of information, and you go, yeah, that sounds really good. I like the idea of that. And then your mind starts going off. How can I put that into practice? How can I use that in my area of life? How can I use that to make money? And you start going off on one. Your mind starts going off on a little tangent of thoughts about what you can do. And before you know it, you've missed 5 to 10 minutes of the audiobook, or maybe a book you're reading. You've missed 5-10 minutes of it, and you have to go back to the top of the page, or you have to rewind the video or the audiobook and listen to it again. You know, that's supposed to be some sort of ADHD, but that just to me is just an entrepreneur's mind working. So, you know, are you that kind of person? Have you always been like that? Are you the type of person that sees an opportunity anywhere in life, no matter where you are? You see an opportunity, you think, I can make money. I can use this to my advantage. You know, that's one of the skills. You've got to use stuff to your advantage. Even if stuff's going wrong for you, you've got to almost look at it in a positive way. What's the silver lining to this cloud? Can I use this to help myself? That is a way an entrepreneur thinks. They don't just take defeat. I mean, how many times have you failed in life? I've failed in a number of things I've tried to do. And I've had people tell me, you need to give up, Paul, on that. Give up. You're never going to make that work. Well, maybe, you know, you do have to learn when something isn't working. But don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on being an entrepreneur just because someone told you to. These are the people normally that have had a 9-to-5 job for the last 20 years that tell you this sort of stuff, because they want to be safe and secure in their job, and they will never take a risk. Being an entrepreneur is risky. You take risks when you're an entrepreneur. You're not adverse to taking a risk. You know, I don't mind taking a risk. I'm actually quite a risky person, I think. I do like to take risks in things. But if you don't take a risk, you're never going to get anywhere. And that's what you find with people that are not entrepreneurs. When you try and talk to them, the first thing they say, oh, it's a bit risky. Oh, is that a scam? Oh, I don't think I can do that. They don't even want to invest $100 into something. But yet, or you know, they'll go and spend that on a pair of trainers, or on a weekend out drinking in the pub. You know, $100 or £100 or, you know, whatever currency you're using wherever you live. They'll go and spend that and think nothing of it, you know, and it's gone. You go and buy yourself a pair of trainers, right? What's happened to the money? It's gone, isn't it? It's on your feet. You might as well, you know, you could almost chuck it down the drain. Not saying, you know, buying some clothes for yourself is chucking it down the drain, but because we all need clothes and trainers. But you understand what I'm trying to say. The concept of it is you could spend that $100 on buying yourself an asset that would make you some money, or potentially make you some money. Now, I'd rather spend $100 on buying myself an asset that's going to make me some money and spend it on something that's not going to make me any money. I'll buy what I need to buy, and then once I've got it, I'll stick with what I've got. You know, I don't just go spending money willy-nilly, not thinking of it. But you find that, you know, like the mindset of people, you know, have you ever like wondered about how they think? You know, like I see people that I haven't seen for years, and I went to school with these people, and I see them, and they say to me, "Oh, how you doing, Paul?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm good. What are you doing?" And I tell them all the things I'm doing, and they're like, "Wow!" They're like blown away. And I say, "What have you been doing?" "Oh, well, I'm still working at so and so, and you know, I've got a mortgage, and you know, I'm doing this, and I've got a pension." And I say, "So what else are you doing? You doing anything else?" You got any more interests? No, not really. You know, it's just a case they just go to work. You know, they've been a good boy in life, haven't they? They've done what the government, the central banks want them to do. They've been a good boy. They've gone to school. They've got good grades. They've got a good job. Now they're a good boy and they're paying their taxes. You know, and they're just funding all the elites, making them rich. And they've almost got no mind of their own to do anything else. And anything else just scares the shit out of them. You know, you say to them, oh, what about looking at doing this? Have you thought about doing this to increase your income, or, you know, get yourself multiple sources of income? Because some of these guys you meet, you know, you like them. You know, especially when you're at school with them, and you kind of want to help them. You know, I like helping people. I like to educate people and try and help people. And try and help people become more than they are. But you just find yourself like talking to a brick wall sometimes because they're just not listening, or they're too scared to listen, and they're just so narrow-minded that they just don't listen to a word you say. They can only see the one way that they've been brainwashed to see, and that's the only way they'll ever see. And they've never really been an entrepreneur, so therefore it does make me think that you are born an entrepreneur. Have you ever, like I said earlier about opportunity, have you ever been somewhere, seen an opportunity and just took the ball by the horns and just done it? I'll give you an example. It's only a tiny example, it's nothing major. Just one day I was with my missus. I walked into a shop and we were just doing a little bit of window shopping. She wanted to go and look at some stuff, and I seen some coffee machines on sale. They were AEG Lavazza coffee machines. Now she'd recently my missus had bought me a really nice coffee machine, an AEG Lavazza coffee machine. So I already had one, so I didn't need one. But because I just got one recently, about a week before, I seen these, and I thought, oh, they're nice coffee machines, and look at the price of them. And they were, what were they, 30, they were £30. They were £30, and I thought, that's cheap, and they were all on sale. They had all these labels. They'd been slashed from £110 to £75 to £50 to £30. So I quickly got my phone, I quickly looked, scanned eBay, scanned Amazon, just had a quick look to see what these coffee machines were worth. The cheapest that they were going for online was £65. There was only 3 left on the shelf. I bought all 3 straight away. She looked at me, she goes, what are you buying those for? You've already got a coffee machine. I said, well, they're only £30. I can buy these, I can sell these, I can put these on eBay or Amazon, double my money. You know, so don't worry, I'll buy these and double my money on them. That's what I did. I bought them, sold them all for £60 each. Well, just over £60 actually. So I probably got just under £30 profit, but nearly got 100% profit on them. And that was just something I just decided to do there and then. I didn't take too long to think about it. I quickly looked, thought, yes, buy them, whacked them in the back of the car. Next day they're on eBay, and I sold them. So that's the sort of thing that an entrepreneur does. But anybody else would have went, oh, well, if they haven't sold already, then I can't make any money out of those. And what if I can't sell them? You know, what if I'm stuck with them? They just find negative reasons not to do stuff. They'll talk themselves out of any opportunity, whereas an entrepreneur will take the opportunity and even have like a backup. You know, even in my mind I thought, well, if I get stuck with one, if I didn't sell one, it's a Christmas present for somebody, isn't it? Somebody's going to be really happy with that. So either way, you're not going to lose out. So there you go. That's my thoughts on it, but I want to hear what your thoughts are. Are you born an entrepreneur, or do you think you become one? Or do you think you learn to become one by the people around you? Or do you think it's something you've got inside you from the moment you really understood about money and buying and selling and, you know, ways of getting incomes? You know, if you believe, you know, about having multiple streams of income, that's something that you should be doing. That's another thing that entrepreneurs always do. They want to have multiple streams of income, because that's the only way you're ever going to get wealthy. You're not going to make any money any other way. You can't make money out of one income, really. You know, even if you've got a high paying job, a high income, that's great. You know, learn yourself a high income skill at school. You know, I'm not saying go to school and don't learn anything. You know, if you can get yourself a high income skill at school, and then you can go and get yourself a high income job where you're earning a really, really good wage, I'm talking a really good wage, and then with your extra money, don't spend it, don't live to your means like some people do. Take a portion of that money, pay yourself first, as in invest it, and create more sources of income by buying yourself assets with the money. That's something an entrepreneur does. Doesn't always mean that you can't have a job and you have to be doing all the, you have to be hustling all the time, you know. But if you've got it up here, and these are the things that you think about doing, that tells you that you're an entrepreneur. So again, just comment. I want to hear what people have got to think on this, because it's something I think about a lot. You know, what made me this way? You know, why wasn't I like other people? So I'm just trying to overtake it. Somebody going rather slowly there. Yeah, I just wanted to know what people think on this subject. What makes you feel different to other people? Is if you feel that difference, if you feel something isn't right in your life, if you feel something's wrong, you know, you feel different. I used to feel different. I used to think to myself, how come I can't go and get a job for 20 years and work at the same place with the same people for virtually the same wage? Why can't I do that? Why can that guy do it and that guy do it, but I can't do it? I used to actually think maybe there was something wrong with me, but it wasn't something wrong with me. It was something wrong with the system, and I knew it from the minute I could think. When I was at school, I knew there was something wrong with the system. When I got my first job, I knew there was something wrong with the system. I always knew that there was something different about me, and that's why the majority of people go to work and do their job, and they get paid, they go home, they have their dinner, they get up in the morning, they go and do their job again. They think nothing more of it. Maybe every few years in their life they'll say, oh, there's got to be something more to this. But those people are just banking on winning the lottery. How many times have you talked to people and they'll turn around and go, well, when I win the lottery, that's their only hope of success or wealth. Well, I wouldn't even call it success. It's not even really success, is it? It's just luck, really. That's their only thoughts of ever becoming rich, is winning the lottery. Well, get that thought out of your head. If you want to get rich and wealthy, you need to create multiple sources of income, passive income. You need to buy assets, have more assets and liabilities, and then you'll start to be on the path to wealth. And then you'll know anyway, if you're an entrepreneur, you'll know in here and in here. So there you go, guys. Please comment below, let me know what you think, like and subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you again soon next time I do a video. Thank you, guys. See you later.